As Yves Saint Laurent quoted, fashion fades, but style, that's eternal. And these fragrances just prove that. Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where here on my channel we talk about perfumes, scents, fragrances, anything that smells good, and we turn the mundane into the extraordinary. So if that's you, then keep on watching. So Yves Saint Laurent, now sadly passed away, but sold a legacy. Yes, he did. And the legacy of the scents that he did was just out of this world, some of them not so much now, maybe. But let's delve into the first one. Rive Gauche. Rive Gauche, yes. When feminism came out, the early 70s, it was everything and anything that women wanted to be. They didn't want a man to buy them fragrance. No, they could buy a fragrance for themselves. And this scent had that advertising slogan. For women who are a little bit more liberal. You know, it's the Rive Gauche, it's the left bank. You've got the right bank, the left bank. Left bank, more bohemian, more, what's the word? Just a little bit more risque. Whereas the right bank, much more conservative, much more buttoned up and stuffy. Well, this fragrance certainly wasn't for the time. You have to love this fragrance to wear it. You have to be a strong personality to wear it. Otherwise, it will wear you. Even this reformulated version is so much better. It has a quality all of itself. Just going to spray a tiny bit. Yeah, it's aldehydes, it's a bit of rose, it's all the florals, it's a bit of sandalwood. It is a gem of a scent, and why not? Yves Saint Laurent Rive Gauche, the perfect quintessential chypre floral. Now Paris, this came out in 1983. This scent is what Monsieur Saint Laurent wanted to create, as in a scent of freedom with Paris. It was joyous, femininity, rose, violet. Oh. Just a beautiful, beautiful rose violet scent that people will say, nowadays, I don't like that. It feels démodé is the word that the French say, old-fashioned. Maybe, but you know, I'm smelling just as good. And if you want to smell just as good with Paris, you will. It has good projection, it has good longevity. It could be a signature scent for somebody. This is the Eau de Toilette. And I think this performs just as good as the Eau de Parfum. Today, this might be dated, it might be vintage to some, but it's my kind of vintage. Is it your kind of vintage? Paris, Yves Saint Laurent, the perfect rose violet, and the nose, Sophia Grossman, who made this, I think championed a scent of its time. As a side note, I do have Parisienne, which came out later, but this one I'm not so in love with, so I may well declutter this scent. I may well, it's not really, I'm not really feeling it. It is a rose scent, but I want it to be more of a jammy rose, and I don't think it is. I think it is a little bit lackluster. It has not really much complexity and depth to it, but nonetheless it is a pleasant fragrance. That's Yves Saint Laurent Parisienne, the extreme version. Now Sophia Grossman did bring out Yvresse, which I have to say is one of my favourite fragrances. It is sparkling champagne with a bit of lychee to give it that succulent. It makes your taste buds just kind of like, as you're smelling it, it almost smells, the vibe I get from this is almost a ballerina vibe from Swan Lake, or any ballerina in Giselle. Maybe a little bit gothic as well. It has violet, but it has patchouli, which gives it a bit more earthiness. And again, it sparkles, it is effervescent, it dances on the skin, it brings life to you. It is a feeling of happiness, a feeling of joyfulness. Well, it is when I wear this scent. Stunning. Yvresse by Yves Saint Laurent, which used to be called Champagne, and it was in a different bottle, but now it's in this bottle, and it's like a minimalistic bottle, but it's slightly Art Deco, I feel this is, and it has a vintage vibe. All of these bar one really have a vintage vibe. Now this next one is a discontinued gem. It is Belle D'Opium, which upon first spray, the first kind of like 10 seconds, it feels almost like, I'm not sure. But after that dries down, it morphs into this sweet, peachy, syrupy, smoky, jazz club kind of feel to it. When I wore this, somebody said to me once, "Oh, you smell," and she was a young girl, "Oh, you smell like one of my aunts that I love." Well, I'm going to be that aunt then. You know, if you want to feel like a rich aunt, then whatever a rich aunt is, then wear this. I have a backup bottle of this because I love this so much, a smaller backup bottle. Why they discontinued it, I do not know. But it has this kind of accord that gives it a bit of smokiness to it, and it gives it almost a je ne sais quoi vibe to it, which I absolutely adore. And it is just beautiful, stunning, and has moderate projection and moderate longevity. You know, it lasts about 4 or 5 hours, but that's good. I'll respray. It's a decent projection, you know, at arm's length. It on me, it's beautiful. I probably would say this is actually my all-time favourite scent from Yves Saint Laurent, and they discontinued it. Why? Because I love it. They would, wouldn't they? And finally, love it or hate it, Black Opium, and I love it. It is this milkiness of a latte coffee note accord mixed with the orange blossom and the jasmine, and it suits me. Now, I don't like strong coffee notes, but this is okay. I like this. Actually, I really love this, and actually it was gifted to me by Frances, Happiness Sparkles herself, and I was thrilled to get this because it makes me feel really girly and feminine, and because I don't like too sweet fragrances, I can tolerate this. But to Frances, she got the patchouli in this. Now, I don't really get the patchouli. I just get, you know, the vanilla, the sweetness of the vanilla pod, and the florals, and this slightly milky latte accord note of the coffee. And it lasts long on my skin, and it projects fairly well, actually, on my skin. You know, it's fairly moderate, which is good. I love it, and it has a youthfulness to about it. It's a modern interpretation of the original Opium from the 70s. It has had a lot of hate in recent years on YouTube and social media. It's described as basic. Well, I may be basic, but you may be just too extra. If there are days that I want to feel basic, then whatever basic is, well, I'm basic and put together. Maybe you're just too extra. So what are your favourite Yves Saint Laurent fragrances? I'd love to hear. Are there any more you think I would like? I've tried Libre. It's alright, it's okay. But it was too generic smelling for me. The only one that came close to it really was the... What, my darling? I know. The only one that really came close to me was Le Parfum. That was the only one that really came the closest to it, really. But are there any others that you think I would like? Please comment down below. Until next time, you've been watching another edition of The Fragrantician, feeling fabulous as always. And I've got a cat just gingerly coming up onto my lap. There you go. There you go. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.